Hello, snerds, nerds, and nerds, and welcome to the world of Nuntime. This is Nerdy and Proud, a 10-minute video, or thereabouts, that will give you some information on what's on Netflix, what's on Prime, a few films, but more importantly, a few questions, a few geeky questions that you can answer, and then we'll give you the answer at the end of the video. So if you're taking a 10-minute break, this is the place to be. So the first thing we're going to do is check out what's on Netflix. Now, there's two shows on Netflix that are trending right now. Two different shows, and the first one is Barbarians. Now, I started watching this myself, and if you've liked Vikings or The Last Kingdom, you might like this one too. Now, if you're like me and you're not watching it for its historical accuracy, then you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy most things like this. But if you're going to watch it and thinking, is it historically correct? I don't think any of these things are completely historically correct. So there's no point in watching it with that kind of a view to it. What you would need to be doing, right, is watching it as a purely as entertainment value. And if you want to learn more about, in this case, the Romans, and we'll just go into what it's about in a minute. And if you want to go into and learn more about the Romans and the Germanic tribe, then the best thing to do is just get onto the internet and Google it for yourself. So this is about the Romans called them barbarians. Now, if you have watched Vikings, what you'll find with Vikings is I think they set the precedent for the way we perceive language. I mean, the way they speak in Vikings, you've got to love it. You know, light the fire. It's immense and it's intense. And I think when Last Kingdom came on, I was almost kind of pitting it against Vikings, which you shouldn't really do, but you do. And it took me a little while to get into Last Kingdom, but I have to say, again, it's just a great program. But in Barbarians, there you have the Roman Latin being spoken, and who doesn't love when you hear Latin? I think some of Harry Potter spells are almost Latin, and it's a great language. And what I mean by I felt it was lacking when compared to the Vikings, or the program Vikings, I love the way Vikings, they kind of spoke in their language, and as the camera turned and kind of like faded to a past the other person, they spoke in so we could hear the language and understand it. So it was almost like we had these translators on as it went round. And I thought that would have been a nice touch in, I keep forgetting the name because it's quite new to me, but Barbarians. I keep wanting to say Britannia. That's where I'm going with it, Britannia. But that's a whole different kettle of fish. But Barbarians, so that's what I was hoping they would do with this Germanic twang to them, but they don't. But it doesn't take anything away from the program. So we move on to the next one, which is trending on Netflix, and that is the Bureau of Magical Things. Now, this looks really good, and I've started watching it. I think this is, maybe it's more aimed at the young adults, but I think as an adult, you're going to enjoy this. And if you've grown up with Harry Potter, even the writing is Harry Potter-esque. So, but it does look good. It started off really well. I'm quite enjoying it. It's got a little bit of magic in, it's got elves, it's got fairies, it's got a librarian, because synonymous with magic, you must have a librarian, just like Buffy. He was a librarian. So when you've got that magical world, there has to be a library. And I think there was another program a few years ago called The Librarian, which was awesome. So that's worth checking out too. So before we move on, I think it's time for the quiz. So we have 10 questions for you. I'm going to give you 5, and then we will look at what's on Prime. And then we will give you another 5. So, first question. Which character speaks the first line in the original 1977 Star Wars movie? Captain James Kirk is the most famous captain of the USS Enterprise in Star Trek. But who had the job before him in the TV series? Question number 3. When Doctor Who came back to TV in 2005, it filmed under a secret code name. What was that code name? Question 4. Which animated cartoon scientist's catchphrase is wubba lubba dub dub? Question 5. Which of these 4 movie characters was not recast in a later film? Red Skull, General Thunderbolt Ross, Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, James Rhodes, aka War Machine. And now it's time to find out what's trending on Prime. So here we have the latest on Prime, and what we see, because I still have my trusty remote control, there's a new program coming on called Truth Seekers. This has Nick Frost. Nick Frost is in this one, and we all enjoy a little bit of Nick Frost, especially in Hot Fuzz and a few other programs. So this one looks like he is it something to do with the paranormal, and he has a day job, and at night he goes and partners up and uncovers weird and wonderful stuff. Looks pretty good. In fact, I would have to say the first time I saw the thumbnail, I thought it was a movie. Unfortunately, The Boys has finished recently, and but I have heard they're doing a season 3, so must keep an eye out for that one. And yeah, unfortunately with Prime, you don't really know what's trending. You have to kind of go through it. Obviously they have like The Purge and other things like that. But what they do have on Prime as well as Netflix, and that's a little bit of anime if you're into anime. My daughters are mad into anime. They keep trying to hook me into it. Slowly. I just have a problem sometimes with too much of it going on in the head, you know, where all that like real slow movement, like whoa, and then he's just talking, monologuing in his head and goes, I really must get this done. I have to. Everybody is depending on me. And then although my eldest daughter Amelia has found me one where less of that happens and there's just more action, because I just want action. You know, I'm a Star Wars guy, I'm a Marvels guy, and I just like action. None of this. So it does have that. So yeah, Prime's pretty good for that. Before we go to the last 5 questions, I just want to show you something else which I thought you might be interested in, and that's gadgetry. I mean, I love gadgetry. I'm sure you love gadgetry too. So we're just going to transport ourselves over and have a look at mobile phone gadgetry, because believe it or not, there's an abundance of mobile phone gadgetry. So the 2 phone gadgetries that I want to be sharing with you, with an additional, just because of its cuteness. Yes, I did use that word, cuteness. So first one we have is the Gadget Jail. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Gadget Jail. I really like this. Being a parent, I'll probably end up in there myself, mind you. And it's a little jail where you can confiscate gadgets like iPads, phones, and maybe game controllers, and you put it into this jail and lock it up. Maybe when you're eating dinner and, you know, everyone's brought their tablets, because, you know, sometimes I think, do I just serve the food off the tablet. I mean, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool to have a tablet shaped plate that you can eat off? Just thought of that. I like that one. But yeah, so it can go into this gadget jail. Another one I want to show you, and this is just more for storage. I do like storage, and this is the personalized docking station. So it's where you can put your mobile phone, your glasses, glasses, watch, bits of jewelry. It looks pretty good though, so that should be popping up here. But the other one I wanted to show you as well was the tiniest mobile phone, and I think it's about that tiny, to the point of I don't really know what you would do with it. The amount of times you'd probably lose your average size phone, I think you would end up losing this phone far quicker. Right, now that's that bit over. So what we're going to look at is the next 5 questions. Well, how are you doing? Are you doing all right? Do you feel confident? Right, so we're going to question 6. What is the superhero alter ego of the character Billy Batson? Question 7. In the BBC TV series Merlin, who played Merlin? In Game of Thrones, what is the name of Westeros' capital city? Number 9. What was Hermione's original surname in J.K. Rowling's early notes for the Harry Potter books? Come on, Harry Potter fans, you know this one. And finally, number 10. Name one of sci-fi author Isaac Asimov's 3 rules of robotics as seen in the movie I, Robot. So you got 3 to choose from, is that right? Yep, name one of them from the 3 rules. So you got 3 to choose from. So there's your full 10 questions. You could have paused you can pause the video at any time to kind of think about it and go back, but don't fast forward to the answers because that'll be cheating. The only person you'll be cheating is yourself. So don't cheat. So I'm going to quickly go through the answers for you. The first answer is C3PO. The second is Captain Christopher Pike. 3, Torchwood. 4, Rick Sanchez, Rick and Morty. 5, General Thunderbolt Ross, played by William Hurt all the way through. Shazam may accept Captain Marvel. 7, Colin Morgan. 8, King's Landing. 9, Puckle rather than Granger. And 10, we have the first law. A robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. Second law, a robot must obey the orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. Third law, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. And yet, Terminator still happens. Obviously finds a way around it, doesn't it? So total them up, see how you did. Let me know how you did as well. I'd like to know, so comment below. And I think that's it really for this week's Nerdy and Proud. Do comment and hopefully you tune again in very soon. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for many more of these quizzes and having a look at what's on. So until next time, farewell.